When you go, if you get a high score, is there anything that's like typical that's leading to it? Is it OB off the tee, a 4-putt?
It'll start with like a 3 to 4 putt. I think I kind of get in my head too. You know, the next tee, snap one into the woods or something, and then now I'm like, all right, now I'm hitting 3, I'm dropping, and so.
Okay, gotcha.
Whenever I start hitting 5, 4, and 3, it's really like, hitting 4-iron 190 yards. Because it's just like,
yeah, gotcha.
Really overfading.
Now, the reason you're overplaying here on the way down is mainly because the hand path went too far up on the way back and not deep enough. You can still have it very high with that arm extended, but deeper. Now, one thing you do that influences your hand path is sway. So during the backswing, the more my hips go away from the target, the more the hands will go down the line and up this way, over. What you want to imagine is there's an object here by your right hip, and basically when you make your backswing, your right hip is not allowed to move this way at all.
Okay.
Okay, just to halfway back. Awesome. Now from here to the top, the hand should continue to go up and in, but since you have a lot of up, you probably have to feel kind of pure in.
Okay.
From here to the top, where they would go up, and then basically behind your shoulder.
Okay.
Having something basically right through the shoulder, like this, that you have to keep your hands underneath, should serve as a really good practice station to help you feel how much depth. See how feel your arms have to go deep with that?
Right.
Yeah. The gold here of actually getting better is immediately after you do the practice rep, you look at video to see what it actually looked like. And if you're trying to make any sort of change, what you're going for is feels exaggerated, but looks perfect. Right hip turning, arms deep. Dude, that's excellent, excellent job with the backswing. Very good, really nice. Pulls, fades, thins, right? The pulls and fades for us are coming from the swing plane of the arms and hands being too far out during the downswing. That would have our club path work a little bit to the left, which would be when you square the face up, the pull, and then when the face is open, the fade. And obviously the more over plane you get, the more difficult, the longer the club.
Right.
So if you're watching this and you have pulls and fades, you probably experience that as well, where it's like, hey, it's kind of easy with the shorter ones, you hit them pretty good, some pulls, but as the club gets longer, it's like really difficult. Now, the reason you're overplaying here on the way down is mainly because the hand path went too far up on the way back and not deep enough. You can still have it very high with that arm extended, but deeper. Obviously, the more in the hands go on the way back, within reason, we like to see them behind the shoulder, right, or butt of the club down the maybe ankle or heel line. Certainly with hands more in, it'd be easier to swing them back from in. Hands up, you can do it, but it requires a lot more rerouting.
Right.
So our goal is going to be able to get the hand path a little bit more in on the way back. Now, one thing you do that influences your hand path is sway. So during the backswing, the more my hips go away from the target, the more the hands will go down the line and up this way, over. We want to, if we draw that line down the right leg like you or like Tommy Fleetwood, we would see, if there's any shift away from the target, it's very early, but most all good players, that line there, their right hip will turn inside of that. So they won't have any, there'll be pressure in the feet, but there won't be any like body motion this way. So the more your hip turns, the easier it is to get your hands to work in. The more the hands work in during the backswing, in line with the right pec or bicep, the easier it is to swing down from inside and the way through. So that's like piece one for us with the direction control. The second thing is the contact, which you would get some thinning, right, and some heel hits. And a lot of the thinning for you when you come through is the arms, hands, club being too bent. When the butt of the club gets too close to you, and that shortens that radius, right, the club head's like above the ball, is exaggerated. Right. But that'd be your thinning. So we would fix the pulls and fades by getting the hips to turn and getting the hand path more in. And we would fix the thins by widening or lengthening the arc on the way through. The first thing that we want to do as we do our hand path is the hip sway. And from face on, if you had got a hip sway issue, what you want to imagine is there's an object here by your right hip. And basically when you make your backswing, your right hip is not allowed to move this way at all. Okay. So what I want you to do is take your setup and move back to about arms kind of just this high, just kind of halfway back. Awesome, somewhere in here. And we're gonna do like 3 or 4 motions where I'm gonna move your right hip. And what I want you to feel like is instead of your right hip, go ahead and take your setup. instead of your right hip moving away from the target this way, I actually want you to feel like this right hip works towards the target.
Okay.
So as it turns, it actually works a little bit forward.
Okay.
As it turns, it works a little bit forward. And we could put some of the rear views in the video to show how the hip turn will actually work. This hip should actually be turning a little bit towards, not away. So go ahead and take your setup.
Right.
And we're going to do 3 reps. Your job is to move the arms to halfway back.
Okay.
I'm going to help you move this right hip towards the target. No downswing, just a backswing when you're ready.
All right.
Good. You feel the difference there?
Yes.
With your hips. What does that feel like compared to normal?
I feel like I'm getting a nice like stretch up into my hip here, and then like this hip is slightly going back.
Very good. Let's do that again. Just to halfway back. Awesome. So what I'm doing here for Carlos is I'm pulling this right hip closer to the target as the arms go. And so when we do this, let's flip flop this way, kind of face as if you're going to hit towards this camera. So if we were hitting in this direction and we've got this stick in the middle of the ankles, the base of your butt and the spine, when good ball strikers, and we'll show Tommy Fleetwood or a good one here, this should actually move slightly this way towards the target, right? So they don't move away at all. So if we're doing this, go ahead and make your backswing again. This hip should feel like it turns this way a little bit. Feel that difference there?
Yeah.
Little stretch in your right hip around. One more time. So the bad version would be this bottom of the spine and the hip moving away from the target. Now, can you move away and just shift back more on the way back and make it work? You can, but why would you? Why would you, right? We just want to keep this very centered. One more this way. So right hip works around. Awesome. Okay, let's go back to our normal setup. As your hips turn more, like part of what makes the hands go in is the body turning.
Right.
If I don't turn my body at all, the arms are going to go more straight back. So we should partially get some hand path in with this. I don't think it's going to get you all the way where we want at the top.
Okay.
I think it'll help us early. But then from here to the top, as this hip's turning, I'm going to then have to manually feel my arms and hands go more back this way, which I'm going to help you feel.
Okay.
So let's take your setup again, and let's get me to the first spot where the club's about kind of arms parallel. It doesn't need to be perfect. Okay. You're feeling this right? Yeah, good. So from about this territory where your hands have just gone pretty much straight back, right? The club is relatively down your toe line. This would be a nice checkpoint to hit all the time. From here, if we wanted to hit like a good model, we would say the hands from here would work up and in to the point where they would get about in line with your right pec, right bicep, which would feel about right there. So from this down the line angle, we'd want to have this about in line with the pec or the bicep. We normally would be a little bit more in this territory,
right,
up in it. So this is going to feel a little bit deeper. Yeah. You might feel like your left arm's a little bit more across your pec.
Okay.
You might feel like your right arm's more around you.
Okay.
Just hands in line with the pec bicep.
All right.
Now from here to the top, the hand should continue to go up and in, but since you have a lot of up, you probably have to feel kind of pure in.
Okay. From
here to the top, where they would go up and then basically behind your shoulder.
Okay.
So that for you should feel like they're a little deeper compared to normal. And when we look on video, we want to get the butt of the club basically down in line with like the ankle. Normal for you would be, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but up here. So this would feel around.
Right.
With me. And you can still have all the width in the world you want. Totally fine. Push them away. And you can go as high as you want, just so long as they go deep along with it.
Okay.
Cool?
Okay.
So it's really the work for you early is the hip, and then it's the arms, hands, whatever, deeper this way.
Okay.
Cool?
Yeah.
So let's do a couple reps together. So we're going to go from setup to arms parallel, then pause. We're going to feel the hip turn. Awesome. So now from this spot, we're going to go hands and arms up to the top. Awesome. 2, 3. Okay, good. Now, when you're learning this too, like Carlos is doing there, it's really good learning to get to that spot and feel that, and then I'll hold for like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 count. Even like holding in that spot just to give you some
kind of like set it in.
Yeah, give you some awareness there. So let's do a couple practice swings without a ball where we flow that together and then we'll put a ball in.
Okay.
So no pause here. We're gonna feel like when you make a backswing, your right hip turns around you towards the target and your hands are going deeper.
Okay. Right
hip around you, hands deeper. And if you're someone who hits pulls and fades from a body and arm motion perspective during the backswing, these would be 2 big things to look at. Make sure your hips are turning, not swaying, and the arms are working deep enough. You can go high, but make sure they get deep enough as well. Okay, let's go ahead and make a practice swing from there. Right hip turn, arms deeper. Awesome. I want you to do that one more time, Carlos. Hang on one second. I want to show you what that looks like compared to what it feels like. Okay, right hip turn, arms deeper. Awesome. So now that, explain in your words what that felt like.
It did feel like my right hip is moving back and towards the target slightly, and it feels like I'm kind of getting a good stretch from my knees kind of all the way up through into my arms. So I'm kind of coiled, and it feels like from this position I can move.
And your how about your arms and hands?
My arms and hands definitely felt deeper and back.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm sure it might look a little bit different. I'm more of a steeper with my hands naturally, but it feels like I was back behind my, back here.
Behind the shoulder.
Yeah,
that's a nice
shoulder.
reference point. And this is like a pro tip. Well, I don't know if this will make in the video or not, but like the gold here of actually getting better is immediately after you do the practice rep, you look at video to see what it actually looked like. And if you're trying to make any sort of change, what you're going for is feels exaggerated, but looks perfect. Not feels exaggerated and looks exaggerated. Feels exaggerated, but looks perfect. All right, guys, I want to talk to you today about the Swing Coach app. Now, I haven't been this excited about something new in the golf coaching industry in probably as long as I can remember. This is an AI-powered golf coach designed by the Swing Coach team and the guys from AMG that we've been testing now for quite a while. With the Swing Coach app, you literally just take out your phone, set it 8 feet behind you, start swinging, and here's what it does.
Club at delivery, shallow by 3.
Instantly tells you, just like I would, here's what you need to work on in your swing. Here are your main priorities. It's like taking your coach home with you, which is me, and watching you hit every single swing. And really what you're getting with this also is next level video feedback. I mean, check this out on the screen here. Not only do you get the audio feedback after you're hitting,
hands at top, forward by 1.
it also gives you images that are color-coded on the screen that show you exactly what your issues are in each area of the swing. It's something that's gonna maximize your practice time and make you get better so much faster because you have instant feedback on every single swing you make. If you want to check out the Swing Coach app, again, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. You can try it absolutely for free. Why would you not try it? It's very, very inexpensive to use. It's going to get you maximum results for your practice time. We're going to put a link in the description down below. Go click that. Go take advantage. Let's improve your golf game. So when we look at this and we look at your arm plane to the top, we should both look at this and be like, wow, that's money, right? In terms of where your arm plane is. That's huge depth. Right. Butt of the club down the heel line. Right. And you still have great height. Butt of the club's above your head. Really, when you're feeling the deeper, that's just us getting to like neutral. So here's your normal there, and there's your feel. Right. Right hip turn, arms deep. That was nice. Awesome. Now direction-wise, so again, still a little thin because of the follow-through stuff. Right. But direction-wise, that's more of what you should start to see. When your arms get deeper and more around you, the ball should launch on line. Okay. Versus like a pull left or sort of a pull fade. Right. It should launch on line. Okay. Yeah. And that's the benefit if we show the top of backswing of Carlos and Max, and then the downswing is we're able to change this downswing being too far out by just changing the backswing. Right. It's not the only way to do it, but it's like, man, the better spot you get in the backswing, the less work you have to do coming down. Okay, let's do one more. Right hip turn. Arms deep to the top. Right hip turn, arms deep. Nice, man. Awesome. Okay, so let's see this. So watch your hip sway. Beautiful. Look at that. Right. No sway. Yeah. Awesome. Let's just take your setup. So just for you, when you're doing this and when you guys are watching, if this is the line up the hip, go ahead and do your little backswing there, halfway back. This is about what we're looking to create, which is the hip at the top of the swing should get like 1 to 2 inches inside the line it starts with, 1 to 2 golf balls. That's plenty. Go ahead and take your setup again. Or if we were to reference the left hip, go ahead and make your backswing. You just kind of want to keep your left hip on the wall that you start with. Now, if Carlos goes back, go ahead and take your setup again. Overdoing it would be the left hip working forward of that line. That's crazy, right? Too far forward. Or this right hip working like a foot inside this line. So you don't have like free reign here to like, hey, you said turn your hips, like I can turn now, like within an inch or two when we go inside. Right. But right now, because you're swaying, you have to feel it quite a lot, but you have to just monitor it with the video. And same thing with your depth at the top. Like go ahead and take your setup one more time, and let's go up to the top and pause. Right hip turns, arms deeper. Like butt of the club pretty specifically down the heel, or this is good. If you got like a foot behind your ankle, I'd say, no, that's too far, right? Arm relatively on your shoulder plane with the butt of the club relatively down the ankle. Okay, cool. Now, when you're practicing this, one of the best ways to feel this is to have a plane station.
Okay.
So whether we would like put something in here practice-wise, or like I'm manually gonna hold it while we're standing here,
Right.
having something, go ahead and take your setup. Having something basically right through the shoulder, like this, that you have to keep your hands underneath, should serve as a really good practice station to help you feel how much depth. See how feel your arms have to go deep with that?
Right.
Yeah. So we're gonna do 2 or 3 practice swings without a ball, just to feel. Go ahead and take your setup. Your job is right hip deep, arms under, and if I'm holding this right, it should be basically through the shoulder. When you guys are doing this, through the shoulder, and you wanna have the hands go underneath. So I want you to not touch this. So just gonna exaggerate your hand path a little bit more. Yeah, feel how deep that feels?
Yeah.
Good, let's do that again. Awesome, one more. Awesome. So here is the practice one. See how deep the arms and hands go, like that's money. Your arms right on your shoulder plane, still high. High would be defined by like the butt of the club's above the head, arms on your shoulder plane, really good. Now let's see with the ball, look at that. So that's excellent. Look at the difference in your downswing plane. So this right here, dude, this is money. Look at where you are at the top there.
Right.
So that's just me holding that up through your shoulder, and then look where you come down here. I mean, that's a golf swing of a guy who's shooting 73, 75, not like a 90.
Yeah.
Killing me. So that's money.
Okay.
That's just like the model. I would define that by the shafts through the middle part of the bicep, and the butt of the club's over the middle of the foot. That'd be just like the max model.
Okay.
You see that?
Yeah.
So now, well, obviously we got to get through the ball, right? But like the to the ball stuff, this is,
Right.
these are the pieces you got to look for.
Okay.
Hip, arm plane. Hip, arm plane. Then we'll talk about what do I do, start down and through.
Okay.
So let's do a couple more reps with this, just to keep ironing this in.
All right.
You know, let's say in an ideal world, you hit it pretty straight, or like, yeah, maybe like a 2-yard draw, you know? That means we want to launch the ball maybe just ever so slightly to the right of this.
Okay.
Now we talked through this with the fade on the opposite side with the driver before. So this is just like, come on back here and look at that so you can see. So that's like, you know, that blue line is just like, you know, ever so slightly. So that's like if I'm trying to launch, like you're shooting a gun or you're launching something, that's like, I want you to be, with a square aim, feeling like we're gonna launch that ball a little to the right of the yellow and over the blue.
All right.
So the hip turns, the arms go deep, launch it slightly to the right.
Okay.
Hips turn, arms deep, launch it slightly to the right. Now, launching it slightly to the right, my goal is for that to influence a little bit of how you work through the ball.
Okay.
And whatever we don't get from that, we'll manually put in.
Okay.
So when you set up, we're gonna do 1 or 2 rehearsals, but once you hit, your eyes are thinking like, all right, what would I need to do through the ball to launch it kind of in that direction?
Okay.
And I'll help you solve that too. So our rehearsal, you're feeling the right hip turn and the arms deep, just to the top, no downswing. Good, don't hit this. Right hip turns, arms deep. One more. Right hip turn, arms deep. Excellent, reset. And with the ball when you're ready, right hip turn, arms deep, launch it to the right. Okay, how was that one?
That was good.
That was a good shot.
Right.
That's kind of like what we're looking for. Launch more online, reducing the pull and reducing the fade from 2 things. 1, getting the hand path and club more in, but 2, that's the first time we put some intention on where we're going. It is really easy when we go play to forget about that part of it.
Yeah.
We don't talk about it a lot. I don't talk about it a lot.
Right.
When I go play, every shot I hit, if I'm like focusing and good, I've got an intermediate target. And this is good for you guys when you're hitting whatever direction you're hitting. I'm not saying this is gonna solve everything. What I'm saying is when you do good swing mechanics, to amplify how good the effing results are gonna be, if we pick something about a foot or 2 in front of us and be really thinking about where we're trying to launch it, give our brain some really good intention of, hey, if I hit pulls to the left, where are you gonna need to feel like you launch the ball? Not left, right? Like a little right of the target line.
Right.
I hit pushes and hooks. So when I go play, I put this in front like this. I'm trying, you would never know this. No one I'm playing with knows it. But I'm trying to launch the ball slightly left every time and prevent it from drawing.
Okay.
And those for me feels launch it very straight.
Okay.
Right? So for you right now at the pulls, you got to feel like you're launching a little to the right, right? And then we'll talk about the through the ball stuff.
Okay.
You're feeling the right hip turning and the arms deep. Great job, dude. Really, really nice. Right hip turning, arms deep. Dude, that's excellent, excellent job with the backswing. Very good. Really nice. So here's this. Yeah, no sway at all. Look at your right hip. Zero movement away from the target. Great swing length. Awesome hip motion. That's beautiful. That's a 10 out of 10. And that's what I want to see with your swing is like, all right, there is nothing, like your setup and backswing is like equivalent to a scratch level player. So it's like, all right, if we can keep removing stuff that causes problems, and then, all right, hey, all I got to work on is the stuff through the ball, that's great. But it's not like setup and the takeaway and the top and the this, you know? So that is absolute money. Now that's not.
Right.
Okay. This part through the ball, we got to do some work on.
Right.
But this part to the ball is awesome. Really, really good.
Okay.
Awesome job.
All right, thanks.
Hey guys, if you didn't see the first Carlos video where we did the follow through, check this video out next.